This time on Inside Utah Hockey Club. Jack McBain and his dad Andrew can both list NHL player on their resumes. Hockey has created a special connection between the father-son duo.
He coached me all growing up, and almost every single game I've played, he was at.
What teams do the players have circled on their schedules?
The easy answer is St. Louis.
Playing against Pittsburgh tomorrow is a big one for me, just being from the same place as Sid.
It's always nice to play in, T-Mobile, and obviously a great city too.
Plus, we'll hear from the players who signed contract extensions with the franchise.
It does feel that I got lucky. I'm really thankful for Bill and the organization wanting me here.
To just know that you're sticking around for the remainder of the year and we're right in the playoff hunt here, it gives you that extra drive.
And Jeff Rainier sits down with General Manager Bill Armstrong after the trade deadline. That's next on Inside Utah Hockey Club.
Welcome to another edition of Inside Utah Hockey Club. I'm Jeff Rainier, outside the Asher Adams Hotel in downtown Salt Lake City, where Utah Hockey Club executives have been hunkered down leading up to the NHL trade deadline. I sat down with General Manager Bill Armstrong to see how things went.
Excellent. Excellent. It was a different deadline. You think of the trades, well, we actually got our players signed. And we were able to kind of do a little bit of housekeeping to the point where we took care of some contracts to clean things up and give us some more flexibility the following year.
Teams ahead of you, teams that are trying to win this year, made some moves.
Yeah.
Were you close to being involved with that?
For us, people have to understand is we made a lot of our stuff happen at the draft. And at the deadline, we had to make sure that we were kind of patient with our group and showing them, I guess, probably a tremendous amount of respect to keep them together. They earned the right to fight together. So we didn't do much as far as bringing new players in. And I think that was a little bit of a key. Down the stretch, we've been 7-3 in the big pressure games since coming back from Four Nations. So I like where our group's moved to.
Some of the guys you signed said in years past, this team was doing the opposite, getting rid of top players.
Yeah.
What's it like to be on the other side of that?
It's been great. It's been great because I think there's two things that happen. I mean, we find the right player that fits in our culture, our team that you can go to war with and fight with, and they need to be rewarded. I think the second thing is Utah's a new market. I think it sends a message to the rest of the NHL that our players love Utah and they want to be here. They love the environment. They love playing in front of the fans. And they can see the team in a path for hope for us to be a championship organization down the road.
What does it say to the players that you're double downing on these players you brought in?
It's great. It's a great feeling. I love knowing that you got the right players. And you do that by having time with the player and you're getting to know them and know how they practice, and also how do they operate in the tough times. It's easy when everything's going well, but how do they operate in the tough times? And do they believe in the will to improve? Can they go out there and have impact in big games? And I think that's something that you get to know players when you bring in the Oli Matas and the Kerfoots and the Coles, and you get to know those players and you realize, hey, listen, they're players that are going to help us take that next step to becoming a championship organization. We're pretty excited about bringing them back.
Right behind you is the war room,
Yeah.
if that's what you call it
Yeah.
in hockey. What's it like being in that room on days like this?
It's great. It's great. We're an organization that has made a lot of steps in that room. Acquiring a lot of different picks and then picking the right players and then helping, becoming a better organization every single year through the rebuild, as we call it. We're now into the build.
Yeah.
I believe our foundation is set. Now it's about building onwards and upwards with the guys that we have.
How hard is it to make a trade in the NHL? How complicated can it be?
Well, Jeff, let's make sure. It's easy to make a trade. It's hard to make a great trade.
Okay.
Yeah. So for us, we have no problem making the trades. It's just at the right time. There's a part of our group that there's a patience level in the planning that we've kind of put forth and allowing our guys, the Gunthers of the world, the Coolies of the world, the Doans of the world, to grow in front of us and figure out exactly what we have before we spend all the house money.
Yeah, you sort of mentioned that earlier. Just that you're not in the position to bring in a real veteran to be that last piece. You're maybe not there yet.
We're not. I think when we're a top 10 team in the standings, it'll be time to to go to acquire some pieces to get us over the hump. But right now, it's a plan of planning and patience, and seeing what staying with the guys that have got us to this point in the season.
Well, we're excited for the build.
Yeah.
The rest of the way, man.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Well, it's huge. We can't wait. I mean, there's more drafting to be done, and I think the exciting part for the fans is there's about 5 elite prospects coming in over the next 2 to 3 years into this organization they're going to help us take a step. So there's great excitement in the organization, and I think a part of that was signing our players, and you could see the excitement of them coming back and playing for us. So it's going to be a great run down the stretch. Hang on, it's going to be close.
Well, we can't wait for it. Thanks to Bill Armstrong for his time. We're all excited to see how this shakes out down the stretch run. Andrew McBain played over 600 games in the NHL. Now his son Jack is making a name for himself at the sport's highest level. That's next on Inside Utah Hockey Club. Was there a moment when you thought, you know what, this kid has a shot?
Well, are you talking to the parrot or are you talking to the hockey player?
It's funny. Maybe as a coach, took a little bit longer.
Schmaltz down low. Hayden scores! Barrett Hayden's got a power play goal. To the front, Schmaltz shot and a rebound, and Hayden's got his second of the game. Here's Carconi with a shot to stop. Rebound, they score! Barrett Hayden, and he's got the first hat trick in Utah Hockey Club history.
It's not really something you think about, especially like that was such a big game for us in LA, but having a couple of days now, kind of cool just to have that kind of in the franchise, and yeah, cool accomplishment.
Take a bow, Barrett Hayden.
Super cool. Definitely a guy that deserves it. He's always in front of the net. He's doing all the little things that the average fan wouldn't normally recognize, but everyone in this locker room, sees it every day. The work he puts in. He does everything right. Great teammate. So. Just a guy that you want to cheer for sure, and for him to get the first, sure, it meant a lot to him.
Sergachev holds to the front, backhand, they score! Clayton Keller, what a night! That is a career-high 5 points tonight for Clayton Keller. And that is a career high for points by an individual player in one game this season for Utah.
He one-upped me there for sure with that 5-point night, and did it in a win, so he's got the bragging rights on me for now.
Utah Hockey Club forward Jack McBain is following the footsteps of his dad, Andrew, who played over a decade in the National Hockey League. We caught up with the father-son duo to talk about their connection on and off the ice.
And a cross and a goal, and guess who? It's Jack McBain. He's on fire.
How hard is it to have a career in the NHL, to make it?
It's really difficult. I coached Jack when he was younger. You got to be very lucky. I know that because I played, and a lot of it has to do with who you're playing with. You got to stay healthy when you grow. All sorts of different things fall in the line for you. We're very proud of him, and he's very lucky, to be honest with you.
He coached me all growing up, and almost every single game I've played, he was at.
Out to McBain, scores!
I don't think I really realized until kind of I get a little bit older, and the other dads were kind of talking to me about his career and what he did, and we spent so much time, just him and I, in the car going to the rink every morning and every night. I think we just have conversations in there, and whether it's about hockey or not, we just talk, and it's something you kind of don't appreciate as much in the moment, but when you look back on it, it's really special times between him and I. There was no pressure to play hockey. I think, him and my mom both really supported just playing a bunch of different sports and finding out what you're passionate about. But I kind of always knew that hockey was the route I wanted to take and what I liked the most.
Cooley trying to slide it to the front, and they score! Jack McBain and the Bain train again!
Was there a moment when you thought, you know what, this kid has a shot?
Well, are you talking to the parrot or are you talking to the hockey player?
It's funny. Maybe as a coach, took a little bit longer.
9 of his 10 goals this year coming within about 12 feet of the net. That one significantly closer.
Andrew McBain having himself an outstanding season. He's been the surprise, the biggest surprise for the Jets this season.
How would you compare his game to yours? Are there any similarities, or is it completely different?
I was a much better player. No, it's different. Like, he's a much bigger guy than I. Like, I was 6'3", 200, and he's 6'4", 220. He plays way more physical than I do. I think he's top 5 in the league in hits, which is his mom doesn't like, but I appreciate.
He was a good player. He had a bunch of really good years and played for a long time. So really good career, and hopefully something I can follow.
I was more of a power play guy off to the side, getting 20 goals a year in the power play for two seasons in Winnipeg. I was a high scorer in junior, but I fought.
Andrew McBain, we haven't seen him scrap that much. He's in with a heavyweight now, and he's doing all right in a slugfest.
He was pretty funny about it. Like when I was younger and I'd do something or my mom wasn't too happy, he'd send me one of his fights or something and say, you better start acting right.
What's it like when they come to these games for you?
It's awesome having here, right? I think they're obviously in Toronto, and I've been on the West Coast, every year. I was in Arizona, now here, so it's a long way for them to come. But anytime they get the chance to see me play live is special.
It's nerve-wracking, to be honest with you. Again, I always thought, okay, now he's moved on, and I won't have to be the parent or whatever. But you're always the parent. You're always nervous. You just want what's best for them. You want the team to win.
They say it's kind of a business trip because they do a lot of work in your house.
Oh yeah.
They still had their Christmas tree up, the real one. This thing's a fire hazard. All the tinsel's everywhere. I mean, when I first came here in the fall, they hadn't mowed the lawn for like 3 weeks. Him and Gunther, they play hard on the ice, but they're pretty lax.
So this is a work vacation.
This is work. I mean, we're putting in some hours here.
They're on vacation too. Don't get it wrong. They've been gone and skiing the whole time, so they're enjoying it.
Now that you've been in the league for a while and you have professional coaches, does your dad still offer his tips?
Oh yeah.
I try to stay out of it. I mean, I'll give him some pointers if. I tell him to shoot the puck more. That's about all I say. Like, he plays a pretty honest, hard-working game. He finishes hits, plays the right way.
He's been through everything in the league and kind of understands stuff away from the rink as well. So, anything I need to talk to about and anything, I just go through him, and he's the best.
Do you think you're making him proud?
I hope so. Some games more than others.
I'm new with Jack. Just got to know him this season. And hockey players, I've found, are a little different than maybe other sports. They're just real guys. And I would just want to say congratulations on having a great kid. Was that important for you to have him kind of have that character and just be a good human being?
Well, it's always nice as a parent when you get that sort of feedback. In reality, that's all you really want for your children. You want them to be successful, but if they go through life and everybody says, what a wonderful person he is and he's a hard worker, that's the biggest compliment you can have. So we're very happy. Thank you very much for that, by the way. Appreciate it.
Whatever I chose to do when I was younger, I think he would have been happy with and supporting, but he, deep down, probably always wanted hockey, and it's what I wanted too. So it's something cool that we can both share and we can go through together.
Pretty cool that playing in the NHL runs in the family. We thank the McBains for sharing their story. Coming up next on Inside Utah Hockey Club, which matchups are the most exciting? We talk to the players about which teams they like to play on the ice.
Any of the Canadian teams are always fun to play against.
Vegas is a team that kind of had some success against.
The easy answer is the Bruins, just because it's hometown.
Teams you've played on in the past are always fun.
We're now at the Utah Olympic Oval where the team practices. Whether it's facing a particular player or team, it's human nature to get more excited about one day or the other. Andrew Urban spoke to the Utah Hockey Club about which games they circle on their schedule.
What is Barrett Hayton's favorite team to play?
Favorite team to play? That's a good question. That is a hard question, too.
The easy answer is St. Louis.
Clayton Keller against his hometown team, St. Louis Blues. Folks, that's as good as it gets.
Because it's my hometown team. I grew up watching them. Just a lot of memories going to their arena as a young kid, sitting on my dad and grandpa's lap, just watching my favorite players.
The easy answer is the Bruins, just because it's hometown.
I'm from Michigan, as you know, so getting to play the Wings is always a good time, especially when one of my good buddies is our assistant video coach too, so that's always being able to chirp back and forth is always an added bonus.
Any of the Canadian teams are always fun to play against.
And that has to feel good for Josh Doan.
My family's all Canadian, so they get a chance to watch it.
I like playing against Vancouver just because I'm from there, grew up watching the team, got a lot of family and friends that still root for the Canucks, so it's fun getting back there and playing against them.
Growing up 2 hours from Toronto, Leafs are such a big market, and I think it's more of a throw-in answer than maybe the most thought-out answer. But yeah, I'll say the Leafs.
You know, it's always fun to go back home to Toronto, and I got a lot of family there that comes out, so it's always fun.
Jack McBain coming home to Toronto. He gets the goal, his 7th.
Going to Boston's fun. You know, I went to school there, so that's a good spot.
I don't want to say hometown team just because I feel like that's kind of basic and everyone says that, but maybe Vancouver. I mean, I like playing in that building, and we're chasing them down kind of for the playoff hunts probably then.
You want to talk about clutch performers? That's number 11.
Playing against Pittsburgh tomorrow is a big one for me, just being from the same place as Sid, and obviously he was an idol of mine growing up, so playing against him is always special.
Teams you've played on in the past are always fun, getting to see guys and getting to go up against teams that you've played on. So for me, Toronto and Colorado are fun.
I love going back to Edmonton too, and playing in Edmonton. I was part of their organization before here.
Chicago is obviously a big one because I played there, and you know, it's been a while, but you still have those feelings, and you want to prove yourself and, you know, play well against them. So that's probably I love playing, especially in Chicago. Just those divisional rivals. I feel like we've had a lot of success against St. Louis too.
Nick Schmaltz has been red hot as of late.
Vegas is a team that kind of had some success against.
Saturday night's all right for scoring, I guess, if you're Logan Cooley.
It's always nice to play in T-Mobile, and obviously a great city too.
I feel like Rangers is cool. I feel like all of the original 6 is cool to play against.
They're all exciting. Obviously, you play better against some teams, but if I say it now, I'll probably play bad against them. So I'll just keep it quiet.
I don't know if I can answer that. The next team, the next one.
There's a lot of great ranks, a lot of great teams.
Yeah, I can understand that extra motivation playing against your hometown team. Thanks to Andrea Urban for that. Ole Mata moved to Utah after an early season trade. I spoke to him about signing a 3-year extension with the franchise. That's next on Inside Utah Hockey Club.
Now, when you look back, it does feel that I got lucky, and I'm really thankful for Bill and the organization wanting me here. It's a good change when you look back at it.
The Utah Hockey Club got quite a few contract extensions done, 4 total, starting with Ole Mata 48 hours ago, and then extending Alex Kerfoot and Ian Cole by 1 year, and finishing up with Karel Vejmelka, a 5-year contract extension for the man in net.
A great day for our organization to have those guys back. We are really happy about what's been done, and really happy about the job the management did.
What a move! Now a chance in front. Oh, stop! Vejmelka! Great move and a great stop. Karel Vejmelka, terrific.
It's great news for me. You know, I desire to stay in Utah. It's a great group of guys, so that was the first thing on my mind to stay here and just be part of this great group. So I'm glad to stay.
Little drop. Kerfoot shoots. He scores. Alex Kerfoot, and they're on their feet at Delta Center.
For myself and my family, it's an awesome opportunity to stay in Utah. This is where we want to be. We're thankful for the opportunity and really happy to be a part of this group. This organization's been first class from the get-go. It's been a number of years probably where guys have been traded away at the deadlines for this organization, and to have a day where guys are sticking around, we're here and we're committed is great.
To Cole, right on, they score, and it's put home.
The trade deadline can get a little dicey. You know, we'll never really know what's going to happen, but we've won some games, so fortunately the team was feeling good about where we were as a team and locked some guys up for next year, which is great. So happy to be a part of the team for another year.
Ian Cole pinches down, makes a perfect pass across the seam.
We're going to continue to grow as this fan base continues to grow, as our product on the ice gets better, as we continue to push for the playoffs and become a better, more mature team on the ice.
Alexander Kerfoot, he's tied it at 2.
It's only going to be a better product for our fans and for the community, and we're going to do everything we can on and off the ice to uplift the community and do our part to make the Utah Hockey Club proud.
Olli Mata will continue to call Utah home. I spoke to the Finnish native about inking a new contract with the team after coming over in a trade earlier this season.
I think the team's been great to me from day one I got here. I've loved it over here. It's a first-class organization. It doesn't feel like a first-year team at all. You see these guys do the things the right way. It took me about a second to get acclimated with the guys. It felt awesome.
Mata arrived in Utah via a trade with the Detroit Red Wings in October, the third time he's been traded in his professional career.
It's always shocking. You never know what's going to happen, and it always hits you out of the blue. But honestly, a couple days after, I was pretty damn happy where I was.
We get the deal done, and I told Oli this the other day. It's like winning the lottery for us. How excited we were to have him come on board.
You could feel it right away. These guys wanted to win. There's a lot of will and want. There's not big egos. Everybody's ready to do the right things for the team, and it's really amazing to be part of that.
Wonderful shot pass from Olli Mata.
Was it good for you, I guess, as a player to go from maybe not being one of the top defensemen in Detroit to becoming one of the leaders here in Utah early on?
When you look back, it does feel that I got lucky. I'm really thankful for Bill and the organization wanting me here. It's a good change when you look back at it.
What's it been like here in Utah?
You know what? I'm loving it. Even though it's a little chilly, it's sunny every day. Mountains are great. I have nothing to complain about.
Mata won 2 Stanley Cups earlier in his career with the Pittsburgh Penguins, so he knows what it takes to win it all. And it feels like this team is on the right track to get there.
I think it's a stretch like this. We got a big push here. Since the break, I think all the games I feel great. I think guys are having fun playing those games. They're really important. It feels like every game after another just gets bigger and bigger, and guys are embracing it.
Tell you what, great things happening everywhere you look with this team. That'll do it for this edition of Inside Utah Hockey Club. Thanks to everyone who helped put this show together. We'll be back next month.